Hello, my name is Madison Libby, and this is another assignment for my children's literature class at Barden County. This assignment is actually titled The Book Report Project, and it's a contemporary fiction book. The title of my book that I chose to do my report on is called Blended, and the author is Sharon Draper. So my idea for this book is to read it and do a classroom read for around third or fourth or fifth graders. Maybe ideally about fourth grade students. So for the summary of the book kind of starts out with a girl named Isabella who learns that her parents are getting a divorce. And so she has to live with mom for a week and then dad for a week. She never feels like she has a home. She talks about that a lot. Both of her parents have recently become engaged, and so it's causing her parents to get in some arguments and for them to be kind of socially awkward around each other. So that just kind of makes the transition difficult for Isabella. So her dad's fiance, Isabella's dad's fiance, is named Anastasia, who has a son named Darren, who's around Isabella's age, a little older than her actually. And she thinks Darren is pretty cool. So that's pretty fun because their friendship develops throughout the book. And so the book basically talks about Isabella going through her race identity throughout the book. When she's with her mother and they walk through the store, Isabella notices these weird looks that she gets from just other people and questions that strangers will come up and ask for her. So for an example, some of the questions are, what race are you? And you guys just don't look unusual together. They're not really the stereotypical family, I guess you could say. So Isabella starts realizing that people are viewing her differently, and her father starts to explain to her, people are starting to view you differently and you're starting to realize it. And part of the reason is because that you just look different than other people. You have a different skin tone. And so this may cause people to treat you differently. And again, it's not fair. So Isabella starts to learn that, which I thought was really incredible that the story chimed in on that. So the story basically goes on. Isabella and her parents are fighting, and so Isabella's there to witness that. And then because of their recent fights, Isabella has to go to a piano concert that Darren is driving her to instead of her parents. So on the drive to school, Darren and Isabella actually go into an ice cream shop, get ice cream before they go, and then start driving to the school. They end up getting pulled over, and the cop tells them put their hands up, and they put their hands up, and then a shot's fired. Isabella's rushed to the hospital, and then her parents suddenly realize that they need to put their daughter first. I'm not going to tell you what happens to their daughter because it was just a really intense moment. I kind of want to keep that a secret. So anyway, a classroom activity I thought that would be fun for this book is again to do a classroom read. I'd read about 5 to 6 chapters a day. The chapters are really short. And so I think this would be a good guided reading activity or a classroom read. And then the students could create a journal based on what Isabella's thoughts are throughout the book. They could write about what she's feeling, and they could pretend to be her and pretend to be in someone else's shoes, which I thought was really cool. I really liked that idea when I was looking through the examples, because a lot of kids nowadays have no idea what it is to be like in someone else's shoes. And I think this book has a really great influence and can be a really great resource for kids to use. So that was kind of my thought. I would have the kids do a daily entry, so after every 5 to 6 chapters, they just jot down about a paragraph, kind of like a diary, and then we'd keep all the pages together. And then at the end, when we're done reading the book, they can share their thoughts about it, and we can just have a classroom discussion about what happened, and we can talk about the students' thoughts, and then they can compare their excerpts from their journal that they created within the book, and just compare it to each other and just share their opinions. So yeah, that was kind of my idea. Thank you so much for listening, guys. I really hope you guys read the book. I really enjoyed it. Have a good night.